Today I'm going to be making Nigerian chicken stew a little bit more healthy. So I start off with my washed chicken, and then I'm going to be using some spices. So I'm using curry, thyme, and also bouillon cubes, which is like Maggi. Most people know it as Maggi. So I'm just going to add those spices in there to give it some flavor. You can add as much as you want. I kind of eyeball it, so I can't really tell you the measurement. I also add in some ginger and some salt, and then I'm going to put some water just to make the powder mix well. Then I will add some onion. I decided to add onion powder also. Normally I don't use this. I'm going to give it a good stir, cover it up, and let it cook. Now this is my vegetables. I'm using tomato, red pepper, one habanero, and two onions. Oops, there goes the onion. And then I'm going to cut it up into smaller pieces and add it onto my saucepan. And I'm going to let this cook down in its juices. I added garlic also. It is optional. You don't have to, but I like garlic. So after that, my chicken is done. Now, this is one healthy option. Instead of you frying your chicken, bake your chicken. I also do this with meat and with goat and with most proteins. You're just going to put it in the oven 350 degrees for 30 minutes, and that is it. Once you take it out, it's going to look really good. So I'm going to drain off the vegetable mixture. When you drain it off, save all the juices, don't pour it away. And this is the amount after I've drained it off. You see, just a little bit. This is juice from the vegetable. Don't throw it away. That's what we have, right? Next, I'm also going to drain off the chicken broth. Don't throw this away. It is so important. It's really, really good. You can use the broth for jollof rice, fried rice, noodle sauce, noodle soup, chicken soup, so many things. So next, I'm going to pour my cooked vegetable into the blender. Now, you could blend your vegetable and then cook it, and that takes longer. I prefer this way because within 15 minutes or less, I am done. And this is what my mixture looks like. Okay. Now, this is what the chicken looks like after I take it out of the oven. You can see that it looks as if I fried it. I'm going to transfer that into my cooking pot, add the tomato pepper mixture and in there. And then now I'm going to show you what I do with the blender. You remember that juice from the vegetable? Yes, I'm going to use it to rinse off my blender blade. And then I'm also going to use the chicken broth, some of it, to also rinse the blender itself. And then just pour everything in there. Now, this is one way. I'm going to also add some more juices later. Now, I'm just using a little bit of vegetable oil. That is the healthy option. You can skip the vegetable oil because chicken actually has its own oil, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of shine. So just a little bit of vegetable oil. Next, I'm going to use tomato paste. This is optional, but I like the taste of tomato paste in my stews. And then I'm going to give that a good mixture. Next, I'll be using a little bit of salt. So I'll be adding in some salt in there. But before adding the salt, I forgot I'm going to add in the chicken broth. Okay. So the chicken broth, I'm going to put in chicken broth. I'm saving the rest of the chicken broth for jollof rice. Now, would you guys like to see my jollof rice recipe? Let me know in the comment area and just write, I want to see jollof rice, and I'll make it for you. I added in some salt, I added in a little bit of more bouillon cubes, Maggi in there, and then I'm going to give it a good stir. I'll also go ahead and just taste it so that I can see if the flavor is to my liking, and if it is, that's good. I'm going to cover it up and then let it cook for a while. So you're going to cook it until you see a little bit of the oil rise up, but because we didn't use a lot of oil, you're not going to see a ton of it this time, but within like 10-15 minutes, it should be done, and this is the result you get. So what would you like to eat this stew with? Let me know in the comment area.